Morning students, welcome back to the session of social studies. It's me Jashiran. Okay, once again we will recapitulate the important points what we have been discussed in the previous class as we are moving in the topic of natural rhythms of the earth. In this part we have discussed in the previous session all the points once we will go through as we have seen the layers and the volcanic eruptions, and we have seen what are the famous volcanic erupted regions, mountain ranges, and what are the reactions after the volcanic eruption the lava makes in a different form of islands and all those things. And we have seen the third land order landforms. So when we compare to the first and second order landforms, third order of landforms are external process of the earth which has been after the crust. What are the layer has been formed, it looks like a plateaus and plains and mountains and valleys and vagera vagera. So like this, and just when switch into the main topic today, we are continuing the same part of the session, and as we are moving to the next context, it is called how the air and water transform the earth's surface. What is the role of air and water? So what is the role of air and water in the formation of earth's surface? How it will be formed, and what kind of landforms will be formed? Is there any only landforms are available which are height, and do we find any variety of landforms? So this we are going to discuss in this session of topic. Now after molten material coming from the earth's surface, which we have seen the mantle layer, the molten material. What is molten? As is, this molten is otherwise known as lava, which is coming from the so this is a different aspect of landform, which it's an external process other than the external process. So you see the lava which is blowing outside of the volcanic mountain, it has the capacity, and it is a heat melting body. After it is melted, then what kind of rocks and stones it might be turns into what kind of rocks and stones. If you look at the shape of this, it won't have a proper shape. It's like a gel, it's like a water body, like this it will moves molten rocks and a molten the liquid part like this. When it moves, the air also, the material it mixes in the form of air as well as in the form of the molten material. So when it comes outside, what happens? When it comes outside, it makes a different shapes of landforms. So actually this process was started millions of years back. If you see the earth continents, how it has been shaped only through the source of lava. And after this, what are the different variation stages it is going to be shaped by the earth surface. Okay, so when it comes out, on what aspects and what variations it might be turned and forms into a different types of rocks or stones or sediments or rocks or gravels. So all these varieties we are going to see now. Okay, so in these stages have been divided into 4. It is divided into 4. The work of air and water on the land surface, it is divided into 4 parts. We are going to see that 4 parts. Are you ready? Just we'll switch into the first part. Okay, the first part is weathering. It is called weathering. What is weathering? So what are the changes time to time it takes place on the earth's surface in different aspects of ratio or a region or a place where it is. Observations which we make, it has a different the changes, it turns into different changes. How these changes takes place? So weathering is otherwise known as It is otherwise known as disintegration of rocks. Disintegration of rocks. What is disintegration of rocks? For example, some mountain likewise is there. Due to the weathering process, it might be cuts into pieces. When it cuts into pieces, some might will become a soil, some might become stones, some are becomes like a gravel. So different formations it will be turns into a different types of solid materials or liquid materials, or it might be in the stones likewise material it turns. So this process is called disintegration process. So disintegration of rocks, it will be formed by the big land surface which is called highlands. Then how this disintegration process we can see with our naked eyes. For example, this disintegration gets otherwise known as cracks. So when we could see the actual process of cracking, right? So when it is getting cracked, for example, one big stone is there, for example. So if the stone is very strong, unless if we beat with a strong hammer, it can't break. But here the nature itself having a separate friction force which gives a cracks towards that rocks, hardest rocks. Okay, then how it impacts? Then what is the main resource, or what is the main process that makes weathering process by the work of air and water? Yes, here this weathering process impacts, it is depends upon the climatic conditions. That means the pressure in the air, and also due to hot and due to cool temperature which is recorded in the atmosphere, it has the capacity to disintegrate any kind of hardest rocks on the earth surface. Okay, now once again I am saying the climatic conditions of the earth surface on particular regions where it has more scope, it has a capacity. When it is hot, it has an impact to make disintegration. Either it is cool also, it gives us a process of disintegration of, that means cracking of rocks. So this is one process which we used to call it as weathering process. Okay ma? Right. Shall we go for the next part? So what is the next part? Weathering completed. How the rocks splits into pieces without manpower or without machine power, without pulling anything on that objects. For example, on that big stones and mountains and or big land resources. Okay, this is called weathering process. Now we are going for the second part, that is called erosion. What is that? Erosion. So what is erosion? It is which kind of process? How many types of erosions are there? Okay, it is the process which is done by the water, force of due to the force of water, the erosion process will happen. How? So due to the force of water, it's one impact, main factor, and also along with water we can see the action of air. That means with the push of water one side and with the push of air one side. Okay, at both forces together happens in the same area or a location, for example, so it gives us erosion. Then what is erosion? When it pushes the rocks which are cracked already in the weathering, the rocks are a soil, it might move from one position to another. That means it moves from one position to, or one position to another position. In this position making process, maybe the shape of that soil or rocks might turns into different regions, and it has a capacity to move anywhere. Then when it moves, what happens? It creates separate layer of land which have some different types of soil or a region. It's like a fertile region. Once again I am saying, erosion process, it happens with the force of water and air. When it moves, which are the cracked rocks or soil or any region, it might move from one position to another position. That means not only moving, it might change its shapes and turns into the form of a new layer which is called as a solid layer, soil layer. So this, which we can see on the ground, it is visible on the ground layer, on the layer of, okay ma, actually I said no, land. So this process you might see on the process of ground, okay Nana. So this is called erosion. I hope you understand these two important concepts. Shall we go for the third concept? Is it clear? If you want to note down, you can note down. You can make pause the video and you can write down the running important points which have been explained to you. Shall we go for the third process? Erosion completed. First weathering completed, second one erosion completed, next third one transportation. For example, what do you mean by transportation? For example, if an object, if I throw this to a certain area, it is like a transportation, movement of an object from one area to another area. Here, what kind of transportation now we are going to see here. So, in the previous part we have seen erosion. This erosion completes, it will become eroded. The material which brought up by the erosion, it is called eroded material. What are those? A layer of soil which after the cracks and pores completed, it might move from one place to another. So this eroded material which we have seen here, this eroded material will turns into different formations on the land. These eroded material, for a time being, for a span of a time, it might changes its nature and turns into a different. So what are those? First one, these eroded material which was brought up by the weathering process and erosion process, it might turns into a gravel due to the force one stone touches each stones. So gravel is different and stones are different. Very small stones, pieces of stones, if you observe, it is very smooth surface which is called as gulakara, you will say. It's like a gravel, right? And it has, some are sharp and some are very smooth. So these gravel also, after completion of this process, it will be brought up in the form of eroded material. So first one is gravel, second one is rocks. Second one is rocks. So let me give you a small clue here. So most of you are thinking, what is the difference between stone and rock? Which is major and which is minor? Okay ma? Stone is heavier or rock is minor? Rock is heavier. Which is biggest and which is smallest? Rock is heavier or stone is heavier? Right. Rocks and stones, based on its size, we differentiated, right? Actually, if we break up, that will naturally, some stones are the pieces of rocks. The heaviest material is rocks. If you break up, it will forms in the form of stones, for example. But here eroded material, after completion, it might turns into a gravel, next surface of a rocks. Next, sometimes if the eroded material is very fast and fine, So you find these gravel and rocks, along with these you find fine soil. Fine soil. What do you mean by fine soil? In soils, any varieties are there? Yes, there are lot of varieties of soils. The soils which brought up by the rivers, soils which are naturally available on the land, soils which are come in the form of dust, soil which we dig for our natural purpose of use, soils which we use for cultivation. In these there are different types of varieties of soils. In the upcoming class you will know more information about the soils. But here fine soil means it's without any mixing of any kind of unnecessary materials or rocks or stones. The soil is very pure. So that's why we mentioned the name called fine soil. That means after this process it might turns into a fine soil. So how these things are formed after erosion, after eroded material brought up, due to the transportation process, how these are formed? The only source of this transportation happens by the only source of wind and water. Wind and water. What is wind? What is water? Pushes of water, you know, water is a body, liquid body which moves. Next, what about wind? What is the difference between air and wind? Is there any difference between air and wind? Yeah, it's a huge force, but naturally we get the feel of air which we get on our body. For example, we can't see, but we feel the air pressure. But wind means in a surface area which is flat, any obstacles are there in between, or any kind of heaviest constructions, or if it is not there, you find a clear wind which moves very fast. But it is a huge force. It happens by the huge force. So due to these two processes, this transportation will have this impact. Transportation will have this impact. Is it clear? Right. I hope you have understand the concept of transportation, right? Is it clear, Amma? Once again I am saying, after erosion, after eroded material brought up, the transportation, it moves from one area to another area. While it is moving on the earth surface, it gets into a different shapes and formations. First one is rocks, second one is gravel, third one is fine soil. How these final stage of fine soil gets in the form of transportation means because of the work process which pushes in the form of air and wind, and also the role of water. And the air and wind, we have given a small push of force. It has heaviest push of force. When water is moving from one area to another area, for example, along with the water we have a push of air. We have a heavy push of air. So how do we find out this push of air? For example, when you observe in the rainy seasons, right? So at the time of cyclones, so what is the difference between cyclonic rain and normal rain? Normal rain will drizzle like anything, but cyclonic rain, along with the rain droplets, it has a push of wind, heaviest flow of wind. Along with the force of air, you will get droplets of rainwater. Okay, like that same here, these the final objects are coming because of the impact which pushes by the wind and water. Water carries this, along with the wind has a push off. These things can be transformed and transport from one area to another area. So the third was complete. Then last we came. So last one is the last one is deposition. Last one is deposition. First, what you have seen, weathering. In the weathering, we see will breaks into pieces. Okay, ma? Next, after weathering, we have seen erosion or eroded material. When erosion turns, it turns into different layers of land or soil, water. Next, after erosion, we have seen transportation. Transportation means with the work of water and air, this eroded material will come in the form of different shapes. Now, pushing, cracking, making the formation of different landforms, and again it is eroded, erosion process. Finally, it has to reach to some certain extent. It has to reach to the destiny. So, where is the destiny? That we are going to discuss now. It is called deposition. It's called deposition. So, what is deposition? End point of the material which is eroded, cracked, and all those things, it has to finally has to reach a certain area. What is that? The material which was transported, so finally it has to reach certain area. What is that? So it might be it has to dump in one area. It has to be dump. Dump means just has to throw in one area. Just it has to stagnate in one area. Then when it is going to stagnate, what is the shape of that material now? So when it dumps carries by the air and water. This dumping process carries by the air and the water. So again air, roll of air and roll of water. There wind has placed, but here air is pushing here. Then air pushes, what happens? So when it is dumping, it converts into a different shapes. What is that shapes? When it is dumping process, some will be on bottom, some will be on top. Some will be on bottom and some will be on top. So this bottom and top, it is called sediments or sedimentary. Coming and reaching and standing in one place, or dumping in one place, or reaching in one place, finally stopping in one place, it is called sedimentary region, sedimentary type of material. In this sedimentary, what is there? Maybe rocks are there, maybe soil is there, maybe dust is there, maybe fine soil is there, small stones are there. Sometimes it might be broken into small pieces also, right? So this is the process of deposition. This is the process of deposition. So it is these are the four processes which we have seen. The earth surface which transforms the earth surface by the air and the water. Now we are going to next part. Shall we go for the next part? Overall land surface, earth surface. What is the work of water? What is the role of water on earth surface? What is the role of water on earth surface? If we know naturally some of the heaviest water bodies which are called oceans and seas are naturally formed. But what about the inland water bodies? Okay, here inland water bodies, for example, it starts from the mountains. When it starts from the mountains, this place is called origin, starting point. It starts in the form of small stream from the highest landforms, high landforms. It starts in the form of small stream. Then what is the next position? While it is coming from these highest mountain ranges, because of the push of water, maybe the water have a large portion of a role which makes the landforms into different shape. This push of water have the capacity of formation of not only I am saying water, along with this water we can see the action of air. What is the role of air? Air also giving a push to make these landforms into a different shapes. Okay ma? So after completion of this shape, how the land will become? After completion of the water pushes from the mountain ranges, then what could be the land shape? Imagine the first shape is, so these are called valleys. These are called valleys. Finally, it comes in the form of valleys. Okay, right. That means that much push the ground, which is where the soft nature of land can push away by the water, and the gap will be created. That gap is called valley. In this valley also there are different types of valley, but in our context we have taken only V-shaped valley. We have seen V-shaped valley. Next, in this V-shaped valley, how it is formed? Now you find heaviest rocks, hard rock materials. In some areas this might turns into a form of caves also. Clear amma? Caves also. When this push of water, after passing of these valley, it has a force of giving a big stream of water, where the next portion of these pushes of water, the next portion is called river. After valley, the next portion is called river. Okay ma? So how these rivers are, these rocks are very hard to cut the pieces of river. Clear? So these rivers, water and air and land both all together have a push. Finally, so we have seen here V-shaped valley. The next shape, it will become, it makes the land into different form of shapes. For example, it creates a gap of land. It creates a gap of land where we could find, so let me show you. It creates a gap of land where we could find the shape of the land. For example, the water is coming, it creates a shape of land where the land also will be in between. So the water again it blows into different region. So this shape of land is called gorges. They are called gorges. These shape of lands are called gorges. So there are some famous gorges around our country, around in the world. So there is some famous gorges which is available in certain areas. In Andhra Pradesh, when Bison Gorge. In Andhra Pradesh, we call these landform as Bison Gorge. If you go for Jammu and Kashmir, it is called so you can see Indus Gorge. River Indus made this. In our Andhra Pradesh, this Bison Gorge, where we could find means, if you go for the Andhra Pradesh region, as the Nasik is the source, the Godavari river, it makes a Bison Gorge. That means here round shape is there, but in Andhra Pradesh we have delta shape. Before discharging the water into the sea, it creates a landform which is called delta. Actually delta is a word derived from the Greek language, right? So this is the origin which we have seen, the several processes of land formations which happens from one area to another area. What are the impacts we have seen here? Shall we go for the next part? How the river has a capacity to get a land. For example, the land is there. In this gap we find river water. Then how this land is created here? When this land is created, so it is called flood stages. If you observe the lands, after passing the water all the way from the regions, it has a continuity flows, okay, from one location to another location. It cuts the areas into different regions. So for example, flood region. Flood region is empty before happening of flood. This layer of slab. You find after flood, the gravel which is stagnated here, it is ready to decompose inside of this gap. Next, the third stage. After heavy floods, the gravel and the soil content is ready to create a gap. So in this location, the water will have the force to move from one place to another place. Okay, this is the flooded region, how the river water originates in different areas, which reaches into different tributaries or channels or canals or lakes, which has a possibility of water. Clear? Right. So before reaching, see, when the river water before reaching into the sea, for example, it brought a separate soil. And also due to this force of water, this soil converts into different shapes. So for example, I have said what is delta. Okay, ma? I hope you understand up to here. So more than this, we'll continue in the next session. Once we'll recapture for the next class. I hope you are safe. So we shall meet in the next class. Okay, go through the textual content. Any doubts, you just call me, ring me, and you just clarify the doubts, and you just don't feel pity to call me, and just make sure it's very important concepts for 9th class, because you are going for the 10th class. There are some connectivity chapters which you have to listen compulsory. Don't neglect the video classes which we are uploading. So I hope everybody is safe. Thank you. Have a nice day.